after WrestleMania Backlash for Cody, but it's
Seth
all playing
Cody
out.
too. How you feel about it?
Seth Cody too. Um, I'm okay with it. What else is he gonna do? That was a banger they put on at WrestleMania. They gotta run that back.
I thought Miz should have been the backlash match for
Nah, they
for
gonna
the
do something else
for
with
the
Miz.
sole purpose. Seth is taking too many L's.
Facts. We've
He's
talked about
taking
this.
he's taking too many L's lately, and then it like because he's doing this visionary thing. This your words start to lose weight when you keep losing. It's
Mm-hmm.
I call it the Bray Wyatt problem.
Yeah, I
Wyatt
see
is
what
one
you're
of the
saying.
greatest orators in wrestling history. And like because he speaks like a cult leader and he wants you to follow him and see the light and all this stuff, but he kept losing. I'm like, your words don't hold weight if you keep losing.
Mm-hmm.
And had they let Wyatt win more when he was in the original gimmick, which I still think to this day is the best version of Bray.
I agree.
Um,
I love the Firefly family.
yeah, like he had he won more then, he'd probably still be in WWE now because he would be a megastar. To me,
Right.
there's no more powerful images of Bray than when he has a WWE title on his shoulder. I'm like, all
Mm-hmm.
everything he says holds weight now. He could
Mm-hmm.
expand the Wyatt family to be 55 motherfuckers at this point.
They
But
tried it, man.
if you keep losing, your words don't hold weight. They're hollow. Same thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Seth is phenomenal. Everything he's doing, I love it. But he keeps losing. He can't keep losing. So to me, if you're going to do this match again, you got to give Seth a heavy or something. I don't
Yeah,
know who else they might call up, but somebody has to come in to cost Cody that match, or for Cody to win by disqualification, in my opinion, because Seth just can't keep taking clean pins.
I agree. I would have agreed with you, Dub, all the way through and through until after Raw when we were talking and E gave me some perspective on the situation. He kind of changed my mind on it because I think they're gonna let Seth lose again to Cody, and then Cody's gonna move on after Seth starts. I think this is just building more into Seth's character. To build off of E Ray stating that this is not hurting Seth, and because he's like essentially bulletproof in the crowd's eyes, I agree to a certain extent with that. But to take it further, I think that they're building into the insanity that Seth Rollins' character is going through by him continue to lose and lose and lose and lose after his gimmick was changed, after he was the Monday Night Messiah and his followers left him and he's now crazy. So now he's going to keep losing and it's going to turn into something else. So
So
I
he's
think
just
this
going
is
to be
just
crazier.
I think this is just manifesting into another character change. He's like they don't really know. Like I feel like they're using Seth as not. This is gonna sound bad, but I don't have another word to describe it as a glorified jobber. Because he's there to get guys over as bigger faces, and then from there, he's so good. They're gonna let him continue to just do what he does with his characters because we've let you do what you wanted. I think that they let Seth do what he wants to do in those situations versus
Uh-huh.
somebody telling him this is what your character is going to be because of the fact that he's been so great at it. So I agree. Typical wrestler, like you described, Bray Wyatt, absolutely agree. Losing does not help a guy like that. But with Seth, a guy that's already has been over for damn near 8 years at this point. When you really think about it, how long he's been in this main event spot, they're like he can afford to lose if we can continue to take this character somewhere, and at some point it'll turn into something. Maybe he ends up doing something with Edge's weird fake Dark Order stable he started. Maybe Joe Gacy is in NXT doing his weird wannabe Bray Wyatt stuff. Maybe Seth shows up there and he's acting crazy. That's what makes Seth so special is because he's becoming more and more unhinged. He can just kind of do whatever, and people are going to be like, "Well, that's Seth. He's looking drippy. He's doing his dance. He's laughing. I'm here for it." So that's what I think about Seth, man.
I hope you're right. I
I hope I'm
worry
right
that
too.
I worry that they don't like they don't plan out far enough ahead to be thinking like that.
They're
But
showing me different things on that front too, Dub. They're doing stuff where I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. Like that's some long term booking stuff right there. I've been saying that more and more. I don't know why they're getting smart to stuff. Who's working back there that Vince is listening to or
he's
what?
listening to the pod. Come on now.
You're right, man.
It's
Hope
us.
you
We're giving them all this shit for free, and we don't even know it.
right. You're welcome, Vince, as you sit in Stanford in your ivory tower. But yeah, man, it's just like there's little things that they're doing, and it's making me like very cautiously optimistic. Emphasize cautiously.
Yeah,
Um,
very
that they
cautious.
are actually gonna give us something that we can like actually bite into, chew, and enjoy. Not bite into and be like, "What the fuck was this? I thought I was eating something else," and throw that shit away and move on to the next thing. That's usually what we get from them. But it's got me intrigued. Though they're doing some things a little different.
So, all right. So after Cody wins at Backlash,
Mm-hmm.
is it time to put him in a program with Austin Theory for the Dipset title? Because let's be real, Austin Theory is winning that from Balor on Monday.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Um,
you
they
get
setting him up for his mid.
Theory versus Cody for the Dipset title. Maybe Cody wins it on Juneteenth, huh? For the culture.
Oh man, the black wrestling Twitter boy would know what to do. I could see the memes now. But I that's not a bad place to put him, Dub. I'm not mad at that. I think selfishly, I'm hoping that he gets a Money in the Bank match and he's in the Money in the Bank and wins. That's why I'm selfishly hoping that happens, or maybe both. Maybe he wins the U.S. title on a random Raw after Backlash, and he walks into Money in the Bank as the Dipset champion and wins the briefcase. So
That's a
selfishly, just because I know he has a special little deal worked out with Vince where he's not on a typical trajectory.
yeah.
I think that they're trying to push this guy to the moon. Until I see differently, I'm gonna think that.
So I
So
don't know when the June pay per view is going to be, but I will tell you this: if Cody wins the Dipset title the weekend of Juneteenth,
mm-hmm.
I'm calling off work on Monday, and we are doing a pod right after that happens.
All
Right
right,
after.
I'm here for it. I'll do the same. I'll call off that day too.
And like when I say I'm calling off, like I'm calling off, but I'm still waking up at 6, and I'm just hopping on
Yeah,
Twitter all
yeah.
day,
Still
all
doing my
day.
thing.
Gonna have
But
a
yeah,
blast.
and if we can't have everybody record, it's all right. Whoever can record will record. But
Oh yeah, I'll call up guests. I'll start calling up these people on Black Twitter that I follow. Like, how you feel about Cody? You know, he was walking with MLK, now he's winning the Dipset title on Juneteenth. What a moment for Black wrestling.
it would be amazing to see that title over his weight belt. It would be amazing. And
With
did
the
you
coat
hear?
on too? Come on, man.
Yeah. Did you hear Brandy's about to start? She's negotiating something with WWE. Did you hear that or read that?
All right, so I'm officially all out on Cody now. Never mind everything I said. Put that motherfucker on main event. I'm out.
Oh man.
I'm out.
So Brandy Rose switches it up like that for you, huh? It's just is it just
So fast. So
Brandy's
fast.
tough to listen to. She's hard personality in wrestling to deal with. She should stay in the reality show background, in my opinion. Just because like when she was in WWE, she wasn't even a wrestler. She was a
She was a
ring
ring
announcer, right?
announcer. Yeah.
Yeah. Hope I don't know. I hope it at worst she's a silent manager, meaning she's not getting the time she was getting on the mic in AEW unless Dan Lambert's getting signed. That's the only way I'd allow it, so he can come out and put her in place. That's the only way I would sign off on her being allowed to talk while Cody's in the
I
ring.
mean,
And I hope
I'm a
Cody's
huge
smart enough to know that's a bad that would destroy his push.
I'm a huge fan of black women getting opportunities, but damn it, I don't even
I
know
am
if I don't even know if I dislike Cody in AEW. I'm not even sure anymore. I think just every time I saw Brandy, I saw him too, and I was like, oh no. And then like the tone deafness of
yes,
some of the things he said, and I'm like, and then she
yeah.
would approve of it, so he would be even more tone deaf.
Yep. Yep. It was cringe, man. That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
like,
I think that's when Cody's like, I don't know what happened, why I wasn't when people started booing me with the go away heat. I'm like, I think that's what started it, Cody. The fact that you every
you start talking
promo
about your
was
mixed race baby.
me and my black wife and my mixed daughter. Come on, man.
Started talking
That's
about
the
how you
only
wanted
way
to
to
end
come around it.
racism.
Yeah,
Like, yo.
yeah. And no wonder he's like, you can't do that in AEW. So yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Sorry, AEW fans out there, but y'all know what it is. If you're a person of color, you tell me you feel comfortable in the crowd at them shows. I'll be watching TV. It don't look like y'all comfortable. Half of them people be looking like they look like they need deodorant and toothbrushes and toothpaste.
You know, and that's the scary thing about AEW putting out a video game. These motherfuckers don't leave their house already unless it's an AEW show.
Yes, I was thinking about that. I was definitely thinking about that.
I'm like, you can't give them a game. Like,
I saw
you
that
can't
game.
give
I
them
was like,
more reasons to not go outside. That's what these
nope.
motherfuckers need to go outside and touch some grass.
Yes, fresh air, vitamin D. It does
Get some
wonders.
some grass, some vitamin D, some bitches.
Oh man, exactly. That really does wonders. So yes, instead of worrying about calling out people on Twitter, wholeheartedly
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Um, but no, to put a pin in it. Any other thoughts on Cody, man? I think we're outside of the Brandy stuff, which I'm sorry for bringing up because it's all rumor. It's not Garrett. Nobody said that she's for sure coming, but it sounds like she is. You still on? We still on the Cody train, Dub?
Oh, absolutely,
All
absolutely.
right, all right. I am
At
too.
this point, if Rock's not showing up, the only person they can put that belt on is Cody.
Man, I agree.
They've written themselves into a corner, and I say that with all love because the tribal chief is one of my favorite all time things in wrestling.
Same,
Like,
same.
it's just unreal the work Roman's doing.
I
But yeah,
agree, man.
yeah. Shout out to
He
Cody, man.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Cody.
Cody.
Shout out to Roman, man. Roman's earned what he's getting right now. He's went through a lot of flack. He was thrown into a
Oh yeah.
spot he wasn't ready for yet, and it made him a better person now. I think all that made him why he's so great right now because he's
I
finally got
agree.
something he can lean into. But
And
speaking of Roman,
Roman's
man,
sending his cousins to go
yeah,
get them tag titles. I
I
like this
like it.
idea.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
thank you,
yes.
BA.
I
See, we
feel
don't need those other two nerds, man.
yeah, man. They're here to cause trouble. Let's just
Yeah,
this should just be our show, man.
yeah. There you
Send
go.
them guys an email. Tell
Yeah,
their
like
no longer needed. No.
tag titles and the world title. Like once they bled the roster of all the unnecessary talent, it was clear that all right, we got our guys that are our main event guys, and we have a set of tag teams. You don't need belts on both shows anymore. You just don't.
I
And
wholeheartedly agree.
who better to unify them than the bloodline? It makes sense.
Not only just that, nobody's been as strong as the Usos have been outside of the New Day in that tag team division for the
Mm-hmm.
last 5-6 years. I feel like the Usos every year hold somebody's tag team title, whether it's SmackDown or Raw, wherever they at. To your point about the titles, the world heavyweight and tag, no, we don't need separate titles. I feel like, honestly, bruh, this may be controversial. We'll get into it when this time of the year rolls around. We don't need two separate like rosters. I feel like that hinders their options on booking because of the fact that you got these groups of people that can only work so well over here, and you got these groups of people, and then you let Roman and Brock kind of move how they want to, or whatever legend will come in, they're gonna push into something, they do what they want. But I feel like that hinders a majority of the roster. I would
We
love for
do
them to
need
go
two
away from.
rosters though.
I don't know, Dub. Tell me why. I'd love to hear your take.
So think about how big that AEW roster is right now.
Facts.
Think about how many guys you don't see on a week to week basis.
Right. Right.
For
But
on a month to month basis.
right. And somebody on Twitter made a point about that they swap people in and out. I want to say yeah they do, but like you said, it's on a monthly to the point where you almost like, is that person still in AEW? To that
So like,
degree
and
of
the WWE roster is to a point now where like they have it to a point where I got a roster of like 20 guys on each side, maybe 30. I can focus on these. I got my top guys, and then the rest of the card I can fill out with these other guys for 2 to 3 months at a time and rotate them through so nobody's sitting and catering for 2 years straight, just chilling.
I get what
So
you're saying.
that's why they still need two rosters. Because if you look at the AEW roster now, it is fucking crowded. It is like
And there's no rhyme or reason why like who goes on Dynamite versus who goes on Rampage either. I'd have noticed that you can get
exactly.
anybody